This video is brought to you by Squarespace. Looks like Xbox is finally moving on. What's up y'all, I'm Ray and this is my channel Xbox Ready, where we talk everything going on in the world of Xbox. And today we're going to talk some potentially disappointing news for fans of Halo Infinite, the future of the Halo franchise going forward, new rumors about the release window for the next Xbox, and how Microsoft is trying to put AI in your games way sooner than you thought. Man, it seems like just yesterday that Halo Infinite came out. It was 2021, it was the 20th anniversary of Xbox. The vibes were really good. They surprise dropped the multiplayer portion of it. It was awesome. Well, that was until the realization hit that there was no Forge mode, no split screen co-op. That didn't stop me from enjoying the game. I'll die on this hill. I love Halo Infinite. I've had a lot of fun with it. The campaign, not so much. The multiplayer, yes. Especially as the seasons went on and on, they kept adding more stuff, more maps. They had the Halo 3 Reforged playlist. That was awesome. And I will admit, I fed into the microtransaction cash grabs. I have myself 6 suit of armor. But earlier this year, 343 announced that they weren't going to be doing seasons anymore. They were just going to do like occasional content drops. It was kind of understood amongst fans that meant that they were going to be winding down support for the game. They're like, no guys, we're still going to be like having a dedicated team to support the game going forward. There'll still be like some content drops, but those content drops were really just like these battle operation passes that were like 20 tiers and didn't really have anything interesting in them. And while they were discussing all of that, they also did say that they were looking beyond Halo Infinite to the future of the Halo franchise. For the past couple of years, I've been following Mint Blitz. You've probably heard of him. He is a Halo content creator. He is sick in Halo, man. He is just nasty. He does the craziest stuff. I first started following him actually when Infinite launched, and I saw a video of him launching himself across Zeta Halo. Well, he recently did a video called The End of Halo Infinite, where he talks about this other Halo content creator, Surasia, who's really big on Twitter. He's apparently a programmer from Germany, and apparently Surasia has access to the Steam database and the changelogs that go along with it, so he can see when they're about to roll out a new update, new operations, passes, whatever. Apparently Surasia mentioned that there is a small patch incoming, but nothing seemingly after that. And in Mint Blitz's opinion, this means that development on Halo Infinite has not only slowed, but potentially halted altogether. Surasia also claims that 343 has 2 Xbox Live IDs, one for Halo Infinite and one for an unannounced like mystery project. So all in all, as Mint Blitz was saying in his video, there's going to be 3 more operations coming, the match composer will be added, and then potentially by the end of this year, we will get wind of a new Halo project, or it'll be announced. 343 is hiring right now, we don't know for what. But all of this is consistent with rumors that we've been hearing for a while now, back in January, even as far back as October 2023, when we were hearing things like, oh, they're working on a new Halo in Unreal Engine. Now, this is kind of whack for a number of reasons. Like, in what world does it make more financial sense to start from scratch on a new Halo rather than trying to rebuild or save the one that you just came out with a couple of years ago that you invested hundreds of millions of dollars in? It looks like Microsoft may have ran the numbers and was like, no, this makes total financial sense. I guess it was just really hard for them to shake the perception that they got at launch. An incomplete game, oh, there's always something missing. It's the latest in a sad trend for Xbox and their multiplayer live service games. Before launch, they were hyping up Halo Infinite like, oh, it's going to be a 10-year game. It's going to be a game that we support for the next 10 years. It's going to be amazing. And after like a really good year in 2023, they were like, okay, let's just give it up. Let's throw in the towel. Halo Infinite, if this is true, if they are stopping support on it, will join games like Minecraft Legends, which launched not too long ago, and they ended up cutting support for. Redfall, obviously they shut down support for that, and took it a step further and shut down the studio behind it. Listen, I know it's a game of numbers. Like, you pump out these live service games or these multiplayer games, you hope one sticks, and then you profit. But I'm hoping Microsoft is looking at those titles, Redfall, Minecraft Legends, Halo Infinite, and realizing that they don't need to pump out these multiplayer battle pass-ass looking games, or at least not make them the main focus. Because the reality is, I feel like players are really only willing to invest in one multiplayer or competitive online game, especially if they have seasons, if they have battle passes. It's really hard to jump between those types of games and keep up with the grind. And keep in mind, Microsoft now owns Call of Duty, so they have a franchise that fits into that mold, which hopefully would allow them to focus on other games, much like they are this year with Hellblade 2, Avowed, Indiana Jones, all single-player games. Now, as a reminder, 343 Industries is not the only only studio that was rumored to be working on a Halo game. No, Certain Affinity is also in the mix working on some sort of Halo project. For a long time, they've been tied to rumors involving a Halo Battle Royale codenamed Tatanka. I've been talking about that for as long as this channel's been around, so 3 years. All I'm hoping for is that for this next Halo, that they do a few things differently. I don't want to see a separate Halo multiplayer and campaign. I want it like the old days. You get them in one game. Honestly, I could do without the whole open world thing for the next Halo game as well. They gotta bring back, like, actual cutscenes. It's like, you gotta live those moments, man. You can't just tell the story through holograms. But really, whatever the next Halo is, beyond being an Unreal Engine 5 potentially, is anyone's guess. We know that some former Halo employees, they've pitched dozens of ideas to 343 over the years. One that apparently was even like Helldivers 2 before Helldivers 2 even existed. So while I am sad that Halo Infinite may be on the way out sooner than we may have hoped, I'm excited to see the next Halo game. I like these kind of quick dev cycles. I don't need to have one Halo game for the next 10 years. 3 or 4 years on a Halo game before moving on to the next one, that's fine with me. Maybe we'll hear more about it at the Summer Showcase in a couple of weeks. Maybe we'll hear more about it like at the Game Awards at the end of the year. This video is brought to you by Squarespace. Have you ever woken up one day and been like, dang, I really need a website for my business, for myself, but I don't know how to make one. Squarespace gives you everything that you need to have a clean, professional-looking website and to make it quickly. If you're sitting there like, dang, I don't even know where to start, you can pick a website template on Squarespace and then fill it in with your own stuff, change up the color, change up the design, change up the font if you want. They even have this new thing where it can like AI generate you a website template based off of your needs. So if you need a website to help market yourself, market your product, market your brand, Squarespace has got you covered. You can head on over to Squarespace for a free trial, try out everything that I'm talking about. And when you're ready to launch, you have all your stuff loaded, you're feeling good, you're looking good, you can use my code XboxReady for 10% off of your first website or domain purchase. Thanks again to Squarespace for sponsoring this video. And while we're on the subject of the future of Halo, let's talk about the future of Xbox. Now, it's weird to say that because at one point the future of Halo was tied very closely to the future of Xbox. Halo was Xbox and Xbox was Halo. That's not really the case so much anymore, especially after the Activision Blizzard acquisition. Rumors have reignited regarding the release window for the next Xbox. Call of Duty leaker The Ghost of Hope relayed rumors that apparently pinpoint the release window to 2026. Now, this runs counter to some other reports that we were hearing that the next console generation wouldn't start until 2028. But to be fair, we have been hearing rumors regarding a 2026 release window for a new Xbox for a few months at this point. Now, there's no concrete evidence about what this new Xbox will look like or what the specs would be. Back in December, Red Gaming Tech made a video where he theorized that they would have to use Gen 5 CPUs because the 6th gen versions wouldn't be out yet. That, along with a couple of other things, could make it potentially a tier above the PS5 Pro, but not as powerful as a PlayStation 6. But if the reports that we saw from the FTC leaks are to be believed and the PS6 isn't coming out until 2028, Xbox would potentially have a 2-year jump if they decided to drop something in 2026. But we also know that Sarah Bond, head of hardware right now, is promising the biggest technological leap in a console generation. She said as much back in February on the Xbox official podcast. She doubled down on it recently for this interview with Bloomberg Tech. So if we're going just off of what she said, 2026 seems a little bit like it would be jumping the gun for a console that's supposed to be that powerful. We know they're not doing a mid-gen refresh like the PS5 Pro. That's not the feedback we're getting, said Phil Spencer not too long ago. So what is the feedback that they've been getting? Well, I can tell you the feedback that they've been looking for, and it's feedback regarding a handheld Xbox. Now, here is what I think as a guy with a YouTube channel and a camera. This rumored Xbox console that's supposed to be coming out in 2026 is going to be an Xbox handheld. We know that Phil Spencer is interested in an Xbox handheld. They just added a feature that will allow your Xbox console to remember multiple home networks. They are sending out surveys to Xbox fans regarding their handheld gaming habits. If they come out with a handheld Xbox Xbox in 2026. Sure, it's not an Xbox Series X Plus or Pro or whatever. I also think that Xbox isn't trying to compete with Sony console for console anymore, mostly because they're getting outsold like crazy. So if Sony drops a PS5 Pro and then Xbox is like, here's a handheld, those serve very different functions. And if they release it in 2026 and then wait a couple of years and deliver this Xbox that's supposed to be a technological marvel or whatever, the handheld console could serve as a bridge between the Series X and S and whatever this next-gen beast is in 2028. There are rumors floating around that these next-gen Xboxes are going to be less like the consoles that we're familiar with right now and more like mini PCs. They'd have PC architecture, play PC games, but have a console UI, kind of like a more refined version of the Steam machine. I think that's smart for a couple of reasons. Number one, I just think it's cool, and if they are mini PCs or have PC architecture, it opens the door for something like Steam to be put on your Xbox. Or the Epic Game Store, I guess. It would also eliminate a common complaint for Xbox this generation. Man, Xbox, I don't want to put my game on there because I gotta make 3 versions of my freaking game. A PC version, a Series X version, and a Series S version. Now, I'm sure it would be much more preferable to say, hey, just make one version of the game. You can play it on PC or like our little mini console PC hybrids. We also know that Microsoft is very, very interested in leaning into the PC side of their gaming division, mostly because, well, there's infinitely more gaming PCs out there than there are Xbox consoles. Maybe they can even test it out with this Xbox handheld. See how people receive it, make it pretty cheap so it doesn't break the bank, and then if it's received well, if it goes over well, use that software in the next-gen Xbox. I believe that Xbox will continue with the 2 SKU lineup like they did this generation with the Series X and S. The Series S was too much of a success for them to ignore it, but I know they would want a high-end console just so they can have really, really awesome looking games and have that marketing angle of, yes, this console, this whatever machine that we have, it delivers the biggest leap in console generation. I keep saying that. Like, that's the tagline, right? That's a buzzword. Let's see if they can actually deliver it. But let's head away from the future of Xbox hardware and talk about a future Xbox feature that may be coming sooner than you think. One involving AI. I know, AI, not a very popular thing to talk about nowadays. Usually when it's discussed, it is met with vitriol, hatred. And if you feel that way and you're an Xbox fan, that is unfortunate because we know Microsoft is pretty much having like a love affair with AI. They made a huge investment in OpenAI. Xbox has partnered with in-world AI, and we know that they're actively trying to give their developers tools that are powered by AI to speed up the development process. And they've taken it a step further and they're like, okay, we're going to put Microsoft Copilot, our little AI helper, and put it into Minecraft. They showed this off a couple of days ago in an event they just did, and it's basically this guy playing Minecraft and AI is like, hey, open up your inventory, and the guy is like, oh, how do I craft this? And then the AI responds, it's like, it looks like you got like the right amount. I don't play Minecraft, so I'm just gonna paraphrase here. It looks like you got enough hay or rocks or I don't know what they use in Minecraft. Okay, give me a break. But it looks like you're missing this crafting ingredient. You can find it here, 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 or do this, this, and this. It's basically like an interactive game guide. Now, when I saw this video on Twitter, I was like, that's pretty interesting. I mean, it's not a feature that I'm on my hands and knees begging for, but I mean, seems pretty cool. And when I look through the replies to this video, I just think I respond to things very differently than the average video game fan, or at least the average video game fan on Twitter, because everyone was like, this sucks, this is terrible, no one asked for this is junk, more shovelware, more BS. I'm like, whoa, hold on. I mean, like, again, this is not a feature that I'm chomping at the bit to put into Minecraft. I don't even play Minecraft. But like, we've all used game guides at one point, right? Like, even recently, I'll be stuck on something or a puzzle or a boss, and I'll type in how to beat Melania, for example, Reddit. Like, man, I just saw Kai Cenat struggle trying to beat Melania for over 36 hours. I'm sure if there was an option to just be like, hey, game, Copilot, whatever platform that you're playing on, can you give me some quick tips to help me beat this that's kicking my ass. But I get it though, I get it, because people aren't thinking about just this feature. They're thinking about this dystopian hellscape where AI plays your video games. If they get too hard, you just ask AI to solve the puzzle for you or beat the boss. And I will agree that does sound awful, but I feel like we're skipping a few steps. I like voice commands in video games. That's a huge reason why I had the Xbox Connect in the first place. I tell my Xbox to turn on, turn off, turn the volume down. I would shout at it when I was playing Skyrim. And if I could ask it, hey, how do I do this combo again? How do I cast this spell? What do I need to collect again? Or who do I need to talk to in order to advance this quest? Honestly, that doesn't sound like the end of the world. There's also the other part of this I'm not really talking about, and that's people's privacy concern. Like Microsoft, through AI, through you talking to the AI in video game, somehow collecting that data and using it for nefarious purposes, selling it to other people, whatever. There is also the question of who is feeding this AI video game helper the information that they're relaying to you. Like, they have to learn it from somewhere, right? Are they taking it from a wiki? Are they taking it from other people's playthroughs? Still a lot of questions surrounding that. Hopefully this will be more like an accessibility feature for Microsoft and Xbox. You know how they have like menu narration and like you can calibrate colorblind stuff. Hopefully they make it to where if you really need like an AI video game helper, or maybe you're just lonely, you can toggle it on and off. Anyways, guys, that's all the Xbox stuff I have to talk about today. Thanks so much for joining me for another edition of Xbox Ready. If you made it this far into the video, please subscribe. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.